This is Belinda. Belinda. Trixie.
Laki ng suso mo. Totoo ba yan?
Not all movies are masterpieces. Some are just straight-up disasters. And today, we're counting down the top 10 worst Filipino movies ever made. Grab your popcorn because some of these films are cringeworthy and unforgettable for the wrong reasons.
You are a disgrace to this family. Wala kang karapatang gamitin ang Benjamin Santos.
Let's dive in. Number 10. Enteng Kabisote 10 and the Abangers.
Ay! Sa akin! Masama ang amoy, ha? Pampwet! Kaya pala amoy supa! Daya naman akin yung brief!
Starting off our list, a franchise that once ruled Filipino fantasy comedy. The early Enteng Kabisote films were magical, nostalgic, and family-friendly. But by the 10th installment, many fans felt the magic was gone. Jokes were recycled, the story predictable, and the villains, well, they felt like background extras. Even the CGI couldn't save it. Fun fact, despite the criticism, it still made decent box office money. Sometimes nostalgia alone is enough to sell tickets, even if the movie itself is disappointing.
Hi fans, this is Enteng Kabisote, version 10, with the Abangers!
Number 9. My Little Bossings.
You need to go with me.
Facundo, ilabas ang mga sasakyan!
Madam.
Next up, one of the most talked about MMFC entries ever. Big stars like Vic Soto and Chris Aquino, plus Riza May DeZone gave it major hype, but audiences quickly turned negative. Forced humor, awkward product placements, and unnatural dialogue turned what should have been a fun family film into a cringe fest. Some viewers even walked out halfway through. Even the critics weren't kind, calling it one of the weakest festival entries in years. Lesson learned. Even star power can't save a poorly written script.
Sige, subukan mo. Go! My bossings! Go! My little bossings! Go! My bossings!
Number 8. Super Inday and the Golden Bibe.
Hello? Excuse me? Pwede ba? Tantaran niyo siya!
Super Inday promised fantasy, comedy, and fun. A popular lead, a magical golden duck, it had all the ingredients. But somehow it didn't work. The storyline felt messy, jokes didn't land, and the execution felt outdated. Behind the scenes, the production had multiple reshoots, which likely contributed to the inconsistent pacing. Instead of being memorable, it became forgettable. And in movies, sometimes being forgettable is worse than being bad.
Sabi mo, super inday! Fairness!
Number 7. Fantastica.
Hindi namin napagbibili ang lupang ito dahil nandito ang perya namin.
Narinig yung sinabi ng nanay ko. Sabi niya, hindi namin napagbibili ang lupang ito dahil nandito ang perya
Namin.
namin.
Big budget, big cast, big expectations. But what we got was chaos. Fantastica tried to mix fantasy, comedy, and drama, but ended up feeling like a random collection of scenes. Even with stars like Vice Ganda and Sharon Cuneta, audiences admitted they were confused. Am I supposed to laugh, cry, cheer? Fun fact, the film spent millions on CGI, but audiences joked it could have been used on a better script instead.
65 inch, tapos surround sound. Gusto ko magkaanak tayo, 5, sunod-sunod. Hindi ko mapagod kayo, sa akin palang mapapagod ka na. Ayoko napapagod ang reyna ko. Ano ka ba? Umahawakan na yung bigote ka.
Number 6. Ang Panday.
Hatagpuan na natin at ipagligtas ang buong mundo.
A legendary Filipino hero brought back to the big screen. Expectations were high stakes, but what audiences got was a version that felt rushed and overloaded. Too much CGI, unnecessary scenes, and not enough character development. The fight scenes were visually impressive, but the emotional stakes, flat. Some fans even joked it looked more like a video game than a movie. A reminder, even iconic heroes need strong writing to shine. Number 5. Haunted Mansion.
Ano to?
Niloloko lang nila eh. Oh.
You are so weird.
Haunted Mansion tried to be both scary and funny, and failed at both. Predictable scares, forced humor, and a confused audience. Behind the scenes, even the cast admitted they weren't sure whether to play scenes seriously or over the top, and that confusion translated to the final cut. Critics called it a genre experiment gone wrong. Lesson, balancing horror and comedy is tricky, and this film didn't balance anything.
May dahilan. Kaya dapat hindi nagkukrus ang mundo natin at ang mundo ng mga espiritu. Tulungan mo ako!
Number 4. Mang Kepwang Returns.
Anong pangalan ng nanay niyo?
Nora po.
Bringing back a classic character is always risky, and sadly, this comeback didn't hit the mark. Outdated humor, awkward pacing, and a story that lacked impact. Even nostalgia couldn't save it. Fun fact, the original Mang Kepwang was famous for witty lines, but most jokes in this version fell flat. Number 3. Agent Asiklo.
Hindi natin alam noon kung sila'y mga kaibigan o kalaban. Di nagtagal at nalaman natin ang kasagutan. Tinawag natin silang mga balang dahil para silang mga besting sumalakay dito sa mundo.
Reciclo is where ambition meets disappointment, a Filipino sci-fi film with a unique idea, but CGI was criticized heavily and storytelling inconsistent. It could have been groundbreaking, but instead it became a cautionary tale about executing big ideas on a tight budget. Fun fact, many planned scenes had to be cut due to time and money constraints, which likely caused the jumbled narrative. And finally, the number 1 spot. A franchise known for touching Filipino-Chinese family stories, but this installment failed miserably. Weak storytelling, predictable conflicts, and lack of emotional depth made it the ultimate disappointment. Even the legacy of Mano Po couldn't save it. Audiences expected heartwarming drama, but got a rushed and disconnected story. It's a film people love to hate, and that's why it's our number 1.
Dad, they give us all the love, the support, and the time!
So there you have it, the top 10 worst Filipino movies ever made. Some crashed spectacularly, some tried and failed, and some remain controversial for years to come. Remember, this is all for fun. Movies are meant to entertain, even if they make us cringe. Which of these films have you seen? Do you agree with our list, or do you have your own picks? Comment below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more Pinoy Top 10 content. Until next time, keep watching and keep judging responsibly.